Good afternoon. I'm Chris Scher, Communications Director of the Society of Broadcast Engineers, and welcome to the July 2026 SBE WEBxtra, the SBE chapter of the web. This is a monthly SBE meeting usually posted on the third Monday of the month, but we're presenting it 1 week early this time because of the subject. The SBE is the Association for Broadcast and Multimedia Technology Professionals, with more than 4,000 members, mostly in the U.S., but also around the world. Today's SBE WEBxtra is a chance for you to meet the candidates in the current SBE election of officers and directors. The ballots for the current election were mailed or emailed to SBE members on July 6. I'll get into more details of the SBE election shortly, but first, I have the SBE member update for July 6, 2026. There are some upcoming webinars by SBE on the way. On July 9, Shane Toven presents Securing Your Infrastructure, Cybersecurity Essentials for Broadcasters. The FCC announced new rules and requirements for broadcast infrastructure cybersecurity, and this webinar examines what the Commission is proposing. It also provides some practical tips and has some real-world examples to ensure a facility meets these new requirements. On August 20, Fred Engel leads the ATSC 3.0 Datacasting and Public Safety Applications webinar. This webinar provides an overview of the technology driving ATSC 3.0, including the enhanced viewer experience and the ability to deliver data for non-viewer applications. Engel will also provide his view of the current deployment of this exciting technology. More webinars are added all the time, and you can access the entire library of webinars by SBE on demand. For more information and for the entire list, go to sbe.org/webinars. 2025 marked the 50th anniversary of SBE certification. To recognize the occasion, the SBE program of certification is challenging you to upgrade or obtain your certification through November 2026. Take the CERT challenge and you will not only further your professional standing, you could win a great prize. The SBE is also encouraging chapters to hold a meeting to discuss the benefits of SBE certification. This is called CERT Connect, and you can get all the details on both at sbe.org/CERTConnect. The next chapter exam window is in August. The application date for those exams is closed. After that, there's a local chapter exam window in November. The application deadline for that is September 7. If you don't want to wait, or if a local chapter exam is not convenient for you or not possible because of in-person restrictions, private proctoring is available. More information on SBE certification is online at sbe.org/certification. The SBE National Meeting heads to Madison, Wisconsin this year. It will be held September 15th and 16th in conjunction with the Midwest Regional Broadcasters Clinic. It's presented by the State Broadcast Associations and SBE chapters of Wisconsin and Minnesota. The SBE National Meeting includes the SBE Membership Meeting, which includes updates on the projects and activities of the Society, presentation of the annual SBE Award recipients, and the swearing in of officers and directors for the new terms. The meeting will be recorded and presented as the October SBE WEBxtra for local chapters to view. The clinic is being held September 15th and 16th at the Madison Marriott West in Middleton, Wisconsin. It includes 2 full days of learning and networking designed specifically with broadcast engineers in mind. It provides an opportunity to explore the best practices, compliance guidelines, and the latest technology and equipment available. Get more information about the Midwest Regional Broadcasters Clinic at broadcastclinic.com. And you can get details on the SBE National Meeting at sbe.org/national-meeting. And that's your SBE member update for July 6, 2026. Usually the SBE WEBxtra has 1 or 2 guests, but this time we'll hear from more than 10 different people. The SBE exists because of the volunteer efforts of members like you at the local and national level. The people you're going to meet are the candidates in the current SBE election. They are listed in the June issue of the Signal, on the SBE website, and in the voting materials sent to each member. Today we'll hear from the candidates so you can get to know each one better. You can also read their profiles at the link shown here, sbe.org/2026-election-candidates. So how's the candidate list created? Each year, the SBE Nominations Committee assembles a group of capable members from all corners of the field of broadcast engineering to run and serve if elected. All candidates for national office are either regular, senior, or life members of the SBE, or are designated representatives of an SBE sustaining member, and they must be members in good standing. All candidates must hold a current SBE engineering level certification and are required to maintain that certification through all terms of office. All elected directors serve at an at-large capacity. Each year, the Nominations Committee begins working in February and concludes by the end of April to compile a slate of candidates for the upcoming election. SBE members in good standing who want to run for a director or officer position should contact the Nominations Committee chair. Nominations can also be made from the general membership. For 1 month, beginning in July, the election for the National Board of Directors will take place. Most SBE members receive their unique ballots by email and cast their ballots online. Some members, those without an email address or who chose to opt out of online voting, receive a paper ballot. For 2026, all votes are due on August 5th. An election board of tellers reviews the tallied results to certify the election. Those elected will be inducted into the office during the SBE National Meeting held in the fall. To be eligible to be a candidate, the individual must be a member in good standing and hold an SBE engineering level certification throughout the election and elected term. From the bylaws, any voting member in good standing by letter to the SBE secretary not less than 45 days prior to the election date may propose and nominate a candidate, and the name of any eligible candidate so proposed by 10 members or more shall be entered on the ballot. All candidates for officer or director, whether proposed by the Nominations Committee or nominated by a voting member, shall meet the candidacy requirements no later than 45 days prior to the election date. That's June 21, 2026 this year. There are term limits for officers and directors. Officers serve 1-year terms. That's the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. Directors serve 2-year terms. There are 12 directors, and half of them are elected each year. Directors may serve up to 3 consecutive terms. The president and vice president may serve up to 2 consecutive terms. The secretary and treasurer may serve up to 4 consecutive terms. One person may serve up to 10 consecutive years in office. So let's meet the candidates for the 2026 SBE election. Each candidate submitted a video and was allowed up to 3.5 minutes to say whatever he wanted. It was suggested each candidate mention their current job title and employer, provide info about their professional background in broadcasting, note any distinguishing honors, and then outline the goals as to why he is a candidate. Here are the candidates for the officer positions. Kevin Trueblood, President. Gary Morrill, Vice President. Shane Toven, Secretary. And Gregory Dahl and Charles Keiler, Treasurer. To begin, here's Kevin Trueblood, candidate for president.
I'm Kevin Trueblood, candidate for president of the Society of Broadcast Engineers. Since September of last year, I've been serving in that role, and time sure does fly. My biggest priorities have been to modernize the SBE and to set up the association to serve our members in the modern interests and in the modern mediums in which we work. In March of this year, we assembled a committee to develop a strategic plan to identify the areas that the SBE does well in and what we don't do well in. The top item we identified was the need to improve our sales and marketing efforts. Our desire is to hire someone on the SBE staff who can focus on our external messaging. We recognize that with the dawn of digital media, more people than ever do the work of broadcast engineers just in mediums outside of broadcast. Our hope is to have someone helping us put our association in front of new talent and to help grow our membership base, as well as bring in non-dues revenue. Because it's not a secret that our membership numbers have declined in recent years, and particularly with the loss of our frequency coordination funding, our revenue numbers aren't as strong as they used to be. Now, to be clear, we remain a fiscally strong association, but without some changes, that won't remain the case. And without additional funding, none of our other initiatives can work either. Another point that we identified is to better bond our certification and education initiatives. This gives members a clearer path to getting certified and ensuring that our educational opportunities not only match what you can be certified in, but that they match the work that broadcast engineers have to do in 2026. We have also had a strong demand to expand our Ennis workshops and bring them to areas that do not normally have these types of opportunities on a regular basis. These are just a few of the ideas that we're working on as we speak to bring to life and to help grow the association. And those are the things that I hope to work on in the next year. For those of you that don't know me, I've been a member since 2008 and active in the leadership of this association since 2017. I'm passionate about what the SBE does and how it can benefit your career because I have lived it. Every chapter meeting, every member I encounter, every webinar I get to helps me learn and grow. And for many of you, you're spending your own money on dues, on certifications, and webinars, hoping for that same return. And I want to make sure that you see it. I appreciate your support, and I look forward to leading this association in the next year. Thank you.
Here's Gary Morrill, candidate for vice president.
I'm Geary Morrill. I'm on your ballot this year seeking re-election to the office of Vice President. I've invested these last 7 years serving as a board member, secretary, treasurer, and your vice president. With your support, I intend to continue serving. In 2019, I was appointed to chair our education committee, and I've had the pleasure of doing that ever since. This is a labor of love for me. I've been involved with education, personal and professional development for several decades. Upon re-election, should President Trueblood so choose, it would be my honor to continue serving in this capacity. SBE's experience in creating webinars that can be attended live as well as on demand has enhanced our value, education membership on the latest technical trends, as well as providing baseline education for new entrants into our field. We also strive to add professional development sessions supporting members interested in developing management skills to expand career opportunities. Whether an NS workshop, state broadcaster conference, or local chapter event, the ability to deliver high-value education sessions at affordable price points is important to me. Looking forward, we continue to identify areas in the technology world using many of the same disciplines, hardware, and applications for content creation and distribution. Our intent is to provide high value for both our existing membership and those in parallel industries to expand our society's growth. Coupling education with the expertise our certification committee has developed over a half century to identify technical competence, I believe we can serve existing membership while introducing new individuals to the world of broadcast engineering as a career. The recent introduction of certified production technologists makes SBE an even stronger sustaining resource to a wider technical media world. Professionally, I oversee technical operations in a region encompassing markets across 11 states for my current employer. I support our market engineers, evaluate current needs, and distribute funding for capital improvement projects. In my career, I've also served as president, general manager, and co-owner of a startup facility. From application through comparative hearing, building the plant from scratch, hiring staff, launching the station, and several years later, selling the property. We've also recently begun a strategic planning exercise to grow our society. To achieve these goals, there's going to be a lot of work involved. As a member, you want to know who you can count on, and that means I need to be willing and able to roll up my sleeves to work on your behalf. Growing up on a family farm, work is one thing I've never shied away from, and I have no intention to start now. That's why I'm asking for your support in re-electing me to serve as your vice president, and I thank you for your consideration.
Here's Shane Toven, candidate for secretary.
Hi, I'm Shane Toven. I'm running for re-election as secretary of the Society of Broadcast Engineers. I've been in this field for well over 30 years now, and the pace at which technology changes just never ceases to amaze me. I started out and was working with the early transitions from analog to digital technology, including streaming and websites and all of this other fun stuff that came along back in the late 90s and early 2000s. And now it's only continuing to change as we get into things like artificial intelligence and the importance of IT infrastructure and cybersecurity. And I've just always been really passionate about just kind of educating the next generation of broadcast engineers. And the Society of Broadcast Engineers is one way that we can continue to support that. So I'm hoping that you will support me in my re-election bid to the board of the Society of Broadcast Engineers as secretary.
Here's Gregory Dahl, one of two candidates for treasurer.
My name is Gregory Dahl. I am honored to serve as a member of the SBE holding the Professional Broadcast Engineer certification. Currently, I sit on the board of directors and actively participate both in the executive and sustaining members committee. Today, I am seeking your support as a candidate for the SBE Treasurer. With nearly 4 decades immersed in the broadcast industry, I have developed a deep reservoir of knowledge and practical experience. As president of Second Opinion Communications, I have been privileged to shape and lead innovative projects. My longstanding involvement includes over 20 years on the Midwest Regional Broadcasters Clinic Programming Committee and active membership in the NAB Radio Technology Committee. My commitment to the broadcast multimedia industry is reflective in my ongoing efforts to mentor and empower emerging professionals. I have dedicated countless hours to encouraging collaboration and developing innovation, helping equip the next generation of broadcasters to meet tomorrow's challenges. My leadership philosophy centers on integrity, forward thinking, and unwavering pursuit of excellence, qualities I view as fundamental for the role of SBE Treasurer. Together, I believe we can continue to strengthen the foundation of the SBE and amplify our collective impact in the broadcast multimedia industry. I respectfully ask for your vote to support my candidacy for SBE Treasurer.
Here's Keiler, the other candidate for treasurer.
Greetings to you all. My name is Keiler, and I am running for treasurer of the Society of Broadcast Engineers to represent you, my fellow broadcast engineer. I am currently a member of SBE Chapter 53 in South Florida, and I have also served as chapter chairman for Chapter 53. I am active within the frequency coordination body of our organization both nationally and locally. I am currently serving on the board of directors as treasurer of the Society of Broadcast Engineers, chairman of the Alternative Broadcast Inspection Program, or as it's better known, the ABIP program, and along with other committees that I serve on. The ABIP committee has continued to move forward with many initiatives, including the creation of the guides with the goals of protecting the broadcast industry, to protect the role of the broadcast engineer, and to provide the broadcast engineer and other station personnel with critical information in order to protect their stations. It's under my tenure that SBE is moving forward with educational programs to better enhance the role of the broadcast engineer within the broadcast industry. It was also under my direction that SBE developed the guides, which is a replacement for the inspection checklist that the FCC used to distribute. These guides have become very popular within the broadcast industry and broadcast engineers. We continue to work on revision of the guides as the industry changes. If you had not had an opportunity to review the guides, please feel free to download them from the SBE website. Also on the SBE website is a webinar that I produced as an introductory piece to the guides back in January 2026. Please take an opportunity to review that webinar. For more than 25 years, I have been an active member of SBE, and I have been involved in broadcast engineering for more than 35 years. I hold a number of SBE certifications as well as certifications from various other organizations. I currently work for E3 Services, which is a broadcast engineering firm, and WPLG in South Florida, which is a major television station. I have also worked for HC2, ISC, Ion Media Networks, Paxson Communications, which together, both those organizations, are now the broadcast arm of Scripps, Reach Communications, and South Florida PBS, among other broadcast radio and television facilities. I have also served with other organizations such as the National Translators Association or the National Television Association, previously as vice president, the Association of Federal Communications and Consulting Engineers, SMPTE, IEEE BTS, Axia, and Infocom. As many of you know, the SBE serves an important role to the broadcast industry. SBE needs to keep its members current with the dynamics within the broadcast industry. We need to continue to engage other professionals to become members of our organization, encourage content developers and IT professionals to engage with us, embrace new technologies, educate and inform on legislative and frequency coordination issues. I would continue to further these efforts and search out new strategies engaging other professionals within our industry. I appreciate your support in our continued efforts to improve our organization within our industry. Thank you very much.
And that's the slate of officer candidates. There are 8 candidates running for 6 open director seats. The candidates are David Antoine, Dustin Hapli, J. Eric Hoehn, Joseph Geerling, Jeff Juniet, Davit Robakidze, Dustin Tatro, and Tom Ray. We'll meet them in alphabetical order by last name. First is David Antoine.
Greetings to my fellow SBE members. Thank you for taking the time to participate in this round of the Board of Directors elections for the National SBE Board. It has been my pleasure to serve as 2 terms as an SBE board member. I am once again on the slate with my fellow members, hoping to be elected to another term. The SBE serves to promote and advance broadcast engineering in all its various facets. We do this via education, regulatory efforts, and mentoring. We need to grow the next generation of broadcast and media professionals, and the SBE is here to do that. I hope I can count on your vote as I seek to continue to serve on the National Board of Directors. Thank you.
Next is Joseph Geerling.
Hello, I'm Joe Geerling, a member of the SBE since 1982. I'm happy to be running for a seat on the board. My doctor said you should run more often, and this is the way to do it. So anyway, my story with the SBE started with a personal invitation from an engineer who I did not know from anywhere, but we happened to be at the same event, which was a construction site for a tower. And I went to the first meeting. From then on, it's like what you give, what you get. It's just fantastic. So I know I'm not alone in saying how important the SBE has been. It gave me access to local engineers. It gave me serious credibility because of the certification. It made me a professional instead of a worker. It gave me a national perspective on a lot of the issues we deal with. And it gave me a lifetime of friendships. So, I started SBE, I became an active member. We had regional convention, turned into the first national convention for the SBE, and I was the chair at the time. It was a wonderful experience. And I, wouldn't trade it for anything. And I guess in memory of all the service that I got to get me into the business of radio engineering, I feel like this kind of a thing, running for the board, is a way of payback. And for me, my perspective really is about getting interest in the cool stuff that we do, which is, there's a ton of it. There's a lot of exciting stuff that we don't even think of as exciting anymore. But trying to get that word out to, especially to the younger people who might find a profession in the broadcast industry anywhere in the technology here. So that's really what it's all about. I appreciate your vote. And if you don't vote for me, there's all great candidates. So the SBE will move along well, regardless. Thanks.
This is Dustin Hapli.
Hi, I'm Dustin Hapli, broadcast manager for Willis Tower in Chicago and candidate for a 2nd term on the SBE National Board. During our current term, the board has primarily focused on growing the organization, as well as opportunities for incorporating more technology to streamline our operations for the benefit of the staff as well as our members. We're currently finalizing an updated strategic plan that will provide a clear roadmap with measurable goals for the future. This should ensure the long-term success of SBE for generations to come. Thank you for taking the time to vote, and I look forward to serving you and the society for years to come.
Here's Eric Hoehn.
Hello, fellow SBE members. My name is Eric Hoehn, and I'm a certified professional broadcast engineer based in Washington, D.C. I'm co-chair of SBE Chapter 37, and I'm honored to be a candidate for the SBE Board of Directors. I spent the last 48 years in broadcast operations, from managing complex technical infrastructure to leading large-scale digital transitions. Most recently, I retired from SiriusXM in 2023. My career has taught me that this industry is defined by constant evolution. Through my active membership in SBE, as well as involvement in IEEE, SMPTE, and AES, I've gained a broad perspective for the unique challenges we face today. I'm committed to leveraging my experience in systems integration to serve the SBE membership, ensuring our collective voice is heard and that our professional standards are upheld during this era of rapid media convergence. We are in a time of rapidly changing technology. I believe the SBE must be a proactive educator. We must provide the specialized training necessary for members to master the transition to the IT technology-centric workflows. By fostering partnerships with technology leaders and modernizing our certification programs, we can empower our engineers to lead the industry through evolution while maintaining traditional broadcast integrity that we are known for. If elected, my primary goals will be to expand the SBE's educational and certification resources to encompass these emerging technologies while strengthening our local chapter engagement. I'm also a strong advocate for mentorship programs. I want to help bridge the gap between our seasoned professionals and new entrants, ensuring that SBE remains the premier global authority for broadcast engineering excellence. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I'm passionate about our field, and I would be honored to serve on the board of directors to support the future of our profession. I ask for your vote in the upcoming election. Thank you.
And now, Jeff Juniet.
Hello, I'm Jeff Juniet, and I'm running for the SBE National Board of Directors. I'm currently serving on the board and hope to continue serving you and SBE in this role. The strategic plan that SBE leadership is working on is pointing the organization in the right direction for growth and sustainability in the coming years. And I'm excited by the plan that SBE President Kevin Trueblood and the Executive Committee have laid out. And as a member of the board, I look forward to helping provide value and substance to our current members and to seeing the organization grow through new membership. I'm also currently the Chapter Liaison Chair. Through our monthly chapter chair calls and direct contact with chapters, I've had some fun and informative conversations about opportunities and challenges of chapter life. The innovative approaches to chapter engagement being shared are exciting, and I'm grateful to be in a position to help communicate these messages to other chapters and leadership. So through our big picture national planning or chapter-chapter conversation, there's a bright future for the society, and I would be grateful for the continued opportunity to move us in that direction. Thank you.
Here's Tom Ray.
And as it says on the lower third down here, or at least I'm assuming because I can't see it, my name's Tom Ray. I'm running for board of directors. I'm Tom Ray. Dan, glad to know you. Vote for me in November. Anyway, I have been in the business almost 50 years. I am formerly the director of engineering of Buckley Broadcasting and WOR in New York. And I took myself private. Well, private. I'm a contractor. I'm a consultant. I do a lot of things. I'm an alternative broadcast inspector in 7 states. Got a lot of experience under my belt. I'm also a former board member on the SBE board, and I was part of the group that took the finances and moved it into a different stock portfolio, and we were in a better financial position. And I'm big on education. I'm part of the education committee. I'm also on the ABIP committee, and we rewrote the FCC checklists a while back. So, one of the things I'm big on is education, and I see a lot of this as I'm out doing ABIP inspections. A lot of people there are some new people in the business, and even some of the older people don't understand the rules, don't understand what's involved in making things work, and definitely don't understand RF. For a lot of people, it's still black magic. It's still kind of in the Harry Potter realm someplace. So I am a big supporter of our education initiatives here at the SBE and of the webinars, and I'd like to see it continue. I'd also like to see the ABIP programs continue and more stations participate, because it's good for you, it's good for the station, it's good for, it's good to learn. It's a good way to learn what the rules are and what's required to actually operate the station. But I get around. I'm around in a whole bunch of states. I know what's going on in the industry. I've kept up with everything, even though I'm obviously not a young dude. And it's this has been my life. This is what I've done for almost 50 years now, and to the point where my son got into the business as a television director. My wife is about to retire as a traffic manager, and my daughter, well, she's the smart one. She's a veterinarian, so we don't We won't talk about her. Anyway, hope you can vote for me. If anybody wants to contact me, there is an SBE address, which should be in the lower third. And hopefully I'll get on the board, because I'd like to continue to serve and to serve again, because I think this is a good organization and I'm very proud to be part of it. Thanks.
Here's Davit Robakidze.
Hello, SBE friends. My name is David Robakidze, and I am running for the SBE Board of Directors. I am the founder and chairman of SBE Chapter 148 Eastern Europe, and I serve as Chief Technical Officer at Innovator LLC in Tbilisi, Georgia. For more than 15 years, I have worked in broadcast engineering and media technology. My experience includes television modernization, technical audits, EES, HD radio archive systems, and broadcast infrastructure projects. I know that for many SBE members, I may be a new name. So I would like to tell you why I care about this society and what I hope to contribute. Broadcast engineering is changing very quickly. Today, engineers are expected to understand traditional broadcast systems, but also IP, cloud, cybersecurity, automation, streaming, and new media workflows. That creates pressure for working engineers, but it also creates a strong opportunity for SBE. SBE must continue to be the professional home for the people who keep stations, transmitters, studios, networks, and production systems operating every day. These engineers solve problems under pressure, keep the signal on the air, and serve their communities through reliable communication. I believe their work deserves recognition, support, and a strong professional society behind them. If elected, my focus would be on practical value for SBE members. That means education engineers can use in their daily work, certification that remains relevant as technology changes, stronger support for local chapters, and clearer pathways for students and young professionals entering the field. We need to make broadcast engineering more visible to the next generation. Many young people understand video, streaming, audio, and digital media, but they may not understand that behind all of it is a serious technical profession built on standards, responsibility, and public service. New technologies should not make our role less visible. They should make our profession more important, more respected, and better understood. Although I live outside the United States, I have stayed actively involved because I believe deeply in this society and its mission. I have participated in SBE leadership activities, board meetings, and the 2026 strategic planning session. I also had the honor of speaking at the SBE NS workshop at an AB show. But my reason for running is not only international. My reason for running is that I believe the core mission of SBE matters, especially for the engineers in the United States who built this society, continue to serve it, and rely on it as their professional home. I want to support an SBE that is practical, relevant, technically strong, and focused on the real needs of its members. If elected, I will bring energy, commitment, practical broadcast engineering experience, and sincere respect for the work of this society. I will listen, I will participate, I will work, and I will do my best to serve the members of SBE with professionalism and dedication. I would be honored to earn your trust, your support, and your vote. Thank you.
Next is Dustin Tatro.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dustin Tatro. I'm Operations Manager and Chief Engineer for Westex Communications in Abilene, Texas. And some of the issues that I would like to address with an opportunity to serve on the board for the Society of Broadcast Engineers, I believe are issues that might affect our field in general and not just at the SBE level. Recruitment, for one. I have been personally approached by several contract engineers in my region that have been trying to talk me out of stepping away from the operations manager office and perhaps doing some contract engineer because they're ready to retire. And I feel like I'm just entering the prime of my career, and I kind of am not ready to step away from the stations that I designed, built, and operate every day for a friend. But where do we find that pipeline? There are so many folks in groups on social media of people that do audio and video tech for houses of worship, for instance. And our field, even at the SBE level, is not languishing at all. If you want to look at that pipeline, look at our testing numbers that are posted every month for certifications, especially the CTO level. There are people that are interested in broadcast engineering, that like to work on things, that like to do cool projects like our our multi-station monitor panel that was built through AOIP. AOIP is an interesting thing to younger folks. But how do we attract that? We're doing a good job with our webinars. We're doing a great job with our mentor program, although we have mentors that have volunteered and are interested, but there are not enough mentees to go around. So how do we find those mentees? How do we find people in our little areas of the world where we can get people interested in broadcast engineering? It tugs at your heart to see almost daily on-air and programming positions getting eliminated and consolidated. But one thing we also need to remind ourselves of is that those broadcast engineering positions might go away slightly, but they're going to be around for a while. All of these transmitter sites are going to have somebody to run them. We'll be ready to have people to step into those roles. So in service on the SBE board, I would focus on initiatives to bring in and engage more mentees, younger people into the field, and a field that will be a lifelong career for them that they might not know exists. I'm Dustin Tatro.
And those are the candidates for the 2026 SBE election. Thanks to the candidates for providing their video introductions. As a reminder, electronic voting links were sent to all SBE members on July 6. Paper ballots were mailed the same day. You must cast your vote by August 5 by 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have a paper ballot, it must be received at the SBE National Office by 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on August 5th. If you're mailing a paper ballot, it is highly recommended to mail yours as early as possible. We'll release the results of the election once all the candidates have been notified, which should be on August 6th. The newly elected will take their positions during the SBE National Meeting, which will be held in Middleton, Wisconsin on September 15 and 16 during the Midwest Regional Broadcasters Clinic, presented by the State Broadcast Associations of Wisconsin and Minnesota. Thanks for watching the SBE WEBxtra, the SBE chapter of the web from the Society of Broadcast Engineers, the Association for Broadcast and Multimedia Technology Professionals. Thanks again to all the candidates for providing their videos. If you have an idea for a topic or a guest for the SBE WEBxtra, send it to webextra@sbe.org. And if you hold SBE certification, viewing the SBE WEBxtra qualifies you for 1/2 point in Category G, that's attendance. It's just like attending a local chapter meeting. Thanks again for watching. I'm Chris Scherer, SBE Communications Director. See you next month.